So hey guys, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. For those of you who doesn't know me, my name is Vinayak and I'm currently working as Associate Software Engineer at Accenture. And before we move on to today's topic, before we move on to today's video, I would like to thank you guys, because last time we set a target of 650 subscribers by the end of March month, and today is just 12th of March and we've already reached our 650 subscribers target, and we are way beyond 680 subscribers by the time I'm making this video. So thank you so much. So before we move on, we have a kind of a small announcement to make, and I've been getting a lot of queries, I've been getting a lot of doubts on my Instagram handle. So me and my team have decided that we would be taking up live question and answers, like live Q&As regarding Accenture joining, be it your offer letter regarding, or be it your joining letter, or the documents regarding any questions. So we will be taking those questions on a live session, but that live session is going to happen once we reach 1000 subscribers. Okay, so the moment we reach 1k subscribers, probably in a day or two, we'll have that live session conducted, so that we can answer all your questions regarding that, and so that if there are similar kind of questions, so even you guys can clarify those questions via that live session. Okay, so make sure you guys reach me, help me reach 1000 subscribers as soon as possible, so that we can take your questions. Now, talking about today's topic, today I'll be telling you guys, once we get onboarded, right? Once we get onboarded, we do need to send our documents to Accenture. Okay, and when I say documents, that doesn't mean that we need to send the original copies. Okay, please try to understand, we are not sending the original documents to Accenture, we are just sending the photocopies of our documents. Okay, so last video you might have seen that I told you what all the documents are required for your onboarding. Okay, so those documents were basically to upload on Accenture, countdown to Accenture portal, as well as the Accenture link which you might have received before your onboarding. Okay, and apart from those, there are a few more documents which you guys need to be prepared with. Okay, I mean, when I say prepared with, you need to have the hard copy of those documents with you once you are onboarded. Okay, and once you're onboarded, you might get a mail called as Accenture onboarding document submission, and in the bracket your joining location will be mentioned. So what you have to do is, you need to take the photocopy, I mean the hard copy of these documents, which I'll be telling you guys right now in a while. So you need to take the the hard copy of these documents, and you need to sign on them. There are few documents wherein you need to sign on them, and you just need to courier it to the Accenture office. Now, which Accenture office, how do we need to courier, I'll tell you guys. The first, we will talk about the documents which we are required to download, take the hard copy and sign on. Okay, so the first document would be your signed offer letter. Okay, so when they say signed offer letter, so just take a hard copy of your offer letter and just sign it on all the pages. So this is the signed offer letter. The first document is done. Next is terms of employment, right? So once you get an offer from Accenture, you will be getting your offer letter on the portal where you download offer letter. And apart from that, you will also be getting the terms of employment letter, or the PDF. Okay, so download these two and sign on them with your CID, CID, which you get. Right, I hope you know what CID is. Once that is done, you might be needing the photocopy of your PAN card. Right, so the two documents which I said were signed offer letter, terms of employment, and PAN card. Okay, and apart from that, the next would be your educational details, like 10th mark sheets, 12th mark sheets, and if you're from a diploma background, your diploma, all the mark sheets, plus the graduation certificate, and also your engineering mark sheets if you're from engineering background, or if you're from any degree. So all the mark sheets plus the graduation certificate. Now I'm done with offer letter, terms of employment, photocopy of PAN card, and I'm done with your educational documents as well. Now we'll get to the important parts. Okay, so the next document would be Form Q. Now what is this Form Q? This is basically for the joiners whose location, whose base location is Bangalore. Okay, for in my case, my base location was Bangalore, so I need to download the Form Q, I need to fill it up, and I need to send this document along with the other copies, right? So this is for the Bangalore joiners. Next, we have another form called as Form X, and this is for West Bengal joiners. So for example, if the base location for few people is Kolkata, so you need to just download the form X and fill it up and send it along with the other documents. So I hope I'm clear. And apart from these two joiners, like you might be seeing, like if your joining location is like Pune, Bangalore, or Delhi, so your form, like it will be mentioned in the attached files which form you need to download. But for Bangalore location, the form is form Q, and for West Bengal, which is Kolkata location, the form is form X, right? The next would be PF form. So what is PF form? So to open up the PF account, you do need to fill a form, right? So download the PF form, now fill it up, and just keep it up with other documents as well. And apart from that, you do need to fill a PF nomination form. So what is a nomination form? In case God forbid if something happens to the employee, so whatever the PF is accumulated, right, on your name, it will be sent to the nominee name, right? So basically, if something happens to the employee, just as a precaution or just as a safety purpose, the PF nomination form has to be filled, so that whenever something happens to the employee, the accumulated PF amount can be sent to that employee's like the nominee, right? So I hope I'm clear about that. Next would be GF nomination form. So the next like document is the GF form, and when I say GF form, please don't take me wrong as a girlfriend form. This like nomination has to be one of your family members, like your mother, your father, or your brothers or sister, right? So once these are done, the next document would be other benefits nomination form. So basically, you're just nominating someone from your family, like your mother, your father, or your siblings. Okay, in case if something happens to the employee, whatever the like benefits you have chosen for yourself, those will go to your parents or your any family member, right? The immediate family member. So the next one would be 2 photocopies of your Aadhaar card, the proper front and back. Just make the photocopies of the front and back, and they need not to be color Xerox, but I would recommend them to be color Xerox, so that the process will be a little easier. I hope you understand. The next would be ESIC form. Well, basically we are not eligible for ESIC form. Okay, so you need not to download it, and it will be mentioned in the mail that ESIC form, in the bracket it will be mentioned if you're like if it's applicable. Okay, so before we move on, if you've observed that we are getting around 2 to 2.5k views per each video, but our subscriber count is not increasing. So help us reach 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible, so that we can take your questions. So we are planning to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this month, or probably April first week. So let's see if we can reach it, so that we can take your questions and try to help you guys before your onboarding like date appears. Okay, so moving on, now we are done with the ESIC form, and that is only if we are applicable, like if it's applicable, and I believe that we are not like eligible for that one. So the next one would be 2 passport size photos. Okay, so you just pin it with the documents, and just put it into the courier the envelope, and you can just send it to it. And apart from this, if you guys are already working in other companies, okay, so you will be needing the photocopy of the relieving letter from the employer, and the employee certificate. Like you will be getting the employee certificate if you're working, right? Apart from this, the service certificate, or the resignation acceptance mail or letter. Okay, so the employer will give you a resignation acceptance mail or a letter, and you just have to take the hard copy of that. And apart from that, the work experience letter, which you'll be getting, like how many years or how many months you have worked. So you just need to have the hard copy of that, right? So apart from this, there's another document, and this is especially for the women employees. Okay, so it's called as the women consent letter. So what you have to do is you just need to fill up that with your name and with your the employee ID, saying that I'm comfortable working in any shift or at the particular location. So it's basically like reads like I so and so name do hereby like confirm my willingness to work in any shift, including night shifts, right? And I'm aware that the shift timings are subject to change, and I agree to adhere to the same, right? So this is just basically to tell, like, take a consent from you that you're okay with working in night shift as well. Like, this is only for the women employees, so you just need to fill it up and just sign it at the end of the like letter or the document, right? So these were the documents which are required. Now you might be asking that where exactly do we get these documents, right? Then how do we need to like download these documents? Do we need to contact our HR for these, or do we get these documents on internet? The answer to that is very simple. When you get onboarded, probably on the first day or the second day, like in my case, my onboarding was on 14th of July and I got this mail on 15th of July, right? So I just got it within 1 day of my onboarding. So you will get a mail saying that you need to submit these documents and please like follow up with this task. Okay, so if you scroll down that mail, you will be getting two attachments, wherein the one attachment will tell you how to fill up the document, and the second attachment will be having all the documents required for it, right? Apart from your educational details and your offer letter and terms of employment, all the required documents will be attached to that. Okay, so download those documents, take the hard copy and fill it up properly without any mistakes. Before you fill up, I would recommend you guys to properly read what all the what all has to be filled in, so that you won't make any mistakes. Right, now how many copies do we have to send to Accenture? Basically we just need to send one copy of all these documents, except for Aadhaar Card. You need to send 2 copies of Aadhaar Card, and apart from that all other documents has to be 1 copy, and you need to have 2 photocopies of your 2 passport size photocopies, right? This is probably because for your identity card, but again, after once you're onboarded, you'll have other different processes to prepare for your identity card. Okay, that's not an issue, right? So these were the documents. Now the thing is, where do we need to send these documents, right? So I told you that you'll be getting a mail, right? So once, like, right before the subject of the mail, you'll be having an address, right? In my case, it's Bangalore address. So what I did was, I took out the printout of the mail, okay, and I just cut the address, only the address section, and I just used it to stick it onto my documents envelope. Okay, so you can write it with your hands itself, but I just recommend not doing that, because you may make 1 or 2 mistakes and it may not reach the office, like the Accenture office, right? So it's called as the mail room, so it may happen. So what I recommend is, once you get the mail, take the printout of that mail, cut out other parts and just keep the address address part, so that you can just stick it up to your envelope and the same can be sent, right? So this was all about it, and the next video will be about what's gonna happen once I'm onboarded, right? So once you onboard, there are a lot of processes to be followed, like setting up your accounts or setting up your bank details. So I'm gonna tell you how you have to do that. Before that, if you guys have any doubts, then you guys know what to do. Make sure you guys subscribe and help us reach 1000 subscribers as soon as possible, so that we can take your doubts and try to clarify them before your onboarding, or before your journey with Accenture starts. So help us reach 1000 subscribers as soon as possible, and thank you so much for watching this video. And I'll probably make the next video on what happens next once you're onboarded, probably on 17th of March, because I believe that the first onboarding date is 17th of March and second is 24th of March. Okay, so I'll probably make the video on 17th of March. So till then, thank you so much for watching this video, hoping to reach 1000 subscribers as soon as possible. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.